creator Sally Eslin, the founder of Empowered Clothing. I'm dedicated to empower women entrepreneurs by sharing tools, tips, and resources through leadership, mindset, and more on my show, Finding Your Way with Sally.
Hi everyone, yes, it's Sally here, and I am a content creator and founder of Empowered Clothing. I share every authentic and everyday issues for women over 50. So you can learn more about my fashion products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. So our topic today is how to embrace life through adventures with our adventure coach, Brigette Sigley. So before I bring up Bridge, I thought, well, that links in very nicely with the sacral range of clothing that I have, because the sacral chakra is all about creativity, and it's about having pleasure and finding balance in your life, and it's links in with the carnelian crystal, which promotes physical health and emotional balance. It awakens and stimulates creative energy, enhancing passion and sexuality. So you can see up here on the screen we've got the racerback singlet, which is made in the orange bamboo with the words empowering affirmations I choose to create, and you can also get it in the long sleeve one, and that is all about creating lots of love, joy, and balance into your life. So yeah, pretty exciting. These empowering clothing, right? Dress with intent, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So that's what the clothing is all about. So without further ado, let me just get on to sharing a little bit about Bridge before we bring her up. So let me have a look here. Where's her bio? So 14 years ago, Bridge's life changed forever. She was drowning in a sea of busyness and commitments, constantly running on empty and putting others first. There was no me, as she says. This led to cancer. A wake-up call came when her treatment didn't work. It was then that she surrendered, let go, and relearned how to feel alive again. She looked hard at what wasn't working in her life and found the courage to make changes. Today, she's healthy, she feels reignited, alive to live, and she puts herself first. Guilt-free. Way to go, sister. Knowing that she is a better partner and herself. So she takes adventures in nature, knowing it calms her from the chaos of life. So without further ado, let's bring up Bridge. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Bridge. How are you? Welcome to Finding Your Way with Sally. Thank you so much for coming on today. So you've had a bit of a journey and a half. Goodness me. Lots of it.
I wouldn't have it any other way, really.
Isn't it? So, I mean, that leads right into your empowerment share. The second major health crisis, cancer, stopped you in your tracks, and Western medicine didn't work. So do you want to share a little bit about your story and how it's shaped you to who you are today?
Yeah, sure. So we go back to the point where it was time for change. So at that point in time, I was working constantly, and I had 3 kids, and it was the business. We all have that stage in life where it is busy, but I didn't really see any other option. And at the time, I was thinking about, I had all these guilt feelings about the kids, you know, that I wasn't at home for them. I was working, and when I wasn't present. And so it was, you know, why am I doing this? And I got to the point with my company that I'd go in on a Monday and I'd be feeling sick about having to go in. So it was, you know, we'll get to my share, but it was at that point in time that things started to really change for me. And in terms of, at 35, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, which they whipped out really quickly, and I just had my first child. And I didn't really think anything of it. It was just, at the time, I thought, right, bad luck, this is what's happened. And then I went back to my busyness. Nothing really, I didn't change anything. I just thought, I'm fortunate that you've picked it up. And then 2 more kids came along, my business got bigger, and all those kind of feelings of guilt, what am I doing? I want to be spending more time with the kids, but I don't know how. And then bang, when I was 40, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at the time, it was just shit city, you know, like, here we go again, what's going on? But yeah, I just thought it was bad luck. And then I started my treatment, and my treatment, leading up to that, I was always pretty fit. Like, I like to do triathlons and keep fit. And suddenly when I started my treatment, I couldn't do any of those things. I just felt like the treatment made me feel a lot worse, like I was actually, that they were sending me to an early grave. Continued with the treatment with the chemo, and it got to the point where they said to me that my chemo wasn't working anymore, and I'd taken myself off to what was called then the Gawler retreat to learn how to meditate. And I remember coming back when they said that my chemo treatment hadn't worked, and thought, oh my God, then they're meant to be the expert. What do I do? You know, and just that whole lying down, and you know, you shared about me surrendering, and it was that first time. I'm sure for a lot of women out here, we're control freaks. Like, we like to sort of know what we're going to do next and make a decision. I just didn't know what to do. And as much as that is scary, that not knowing, it was like I just lay down and let go and surrendered and said, please help me. I wasn't very spiritual back then, but I just I had this innate knowing that I had to ask for help. And it was all of a sudden, I just felt like I was being wrapped in this warm, like a blanket. I just listened that everything would be okay. And so I started to, so at that point in time, and the other interesting thing was that I had this real feeling that if I kept going with the company, the business, I wouldn't be alive. So although I felt quite responsible that, you know, we needed it in a monetary way, that it made us, I was contributing, it was almost like I was getting this message that you need to stop this thing now.
It's like your body screams at you. You have to stop and listen, right? So you were getting the wake-up call. You could feel it inside that it wasn't resonating with you. It wasn't aligning, you know, this busyness and all the other stuff that you were doing, and something had to give. So it gave.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I listened to another one of your interviewees, and it is, I don't think it changed anything until there's pain. You know, we can go, oh yeah, I want to do that, but unless it becomes really painful to us, we don't change.
Well,
so
you know,
in some ways, it's a gift.
Yeah. I mean, we're busy, capable women. Right. And so, you know, putting ourselves last, you know, a lot of us empowered empaths are really fantastic mums, really busy at doing all that sort of stuff, and managing work and managing a relationship and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that niggle, I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. And then finally your body stops and says, hang on, it's shaking you. Wake up, Bridge, wake up. And that leads right into your expert tip, actually, because we do create the life we live. And you said, your tip is you create your reality. Change your thoughts and feelings, change your life, because you are powerful. And this is spot on. Do you want to speak to this? Being in the driver's seat of your energy, of your life.
Yeah. So at the time that was quite scary, because I realized that that I had, with my thoughts, so I don't want to be in this business. I want to be at home with my kids more. I want to have a job where it's more balanced, that I'm not away all the time. I want to have more time to hike. Then I created that illness that was forced me to stop and pay attention. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, and like we all probably have moments like this, so we create positive things through our thoughts and our feelings. So it was like this, when you constantly think about something and you have a really strong energy feeling about it, then that's the movie that you play. So another example of that when I was younger was when I started my first business. I just wanted, all I saw at the time was I wanted to help people, and that we would have an apple green wall on St Kilda Road, right? Yeah. And we were helping people, and people were really happy. That's all I sort of knew. And then 10 years later with that business, one day I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, our reception wall is apple green and we're on St Kilda Road. So we create things in a positive way and a negative way. It's almost like when you start to look at your husband and all the faults. And you go, oh, he's overweight or this or that.
Forever,
right? Or your finances, that you suddenly look at perhaps everything that you don't have, then that's what it becomes.
Yep.
So that realization was really, really powerful. And then it was about, okay, well, if I've created this disease, how do I create health, right? Because I'd had, one after the other, and they were, they were very. They could have been. It could have been it at that point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. You got in the driver's seat because your thoughts become your reality. And as I always say, which is about the clothing as well, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So stick to the light and you'll be right. I've got all these sayings, but seriously, like, it's a choice. We can choose, because out of every perceived negative, there's a silver lining. There's learnings to be had. And so, you got the wake-up call earlier enough on, and you saw the light, right? And you found the way. Like, you went through the Ian Gawler Foundation, you got into meditation, you went on your own discovery path, which has led you to this life of adventures. So my little empowerment share is, break that cycle of monotony that you were talking about, just being busy, doing stuff, not putting yourself first. Create a bucket list and then go for it. Like, we're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time, right? So get in the control of your diary, create space for fun. And I say to my clients all the time, at least every 3 months, do something to break the energy. Like, it might be a night away, just something different so that you're not doing the same old stuff. Break that energy cycle. And then I've also brought along my empowerment tip is, which I just said actually, life's too short to sweat the small stuff. We're not here for a long time, so make it a good time. Create some happy memories. And remember, you are in the driver's seat. So do you want to talk about the adventures that you're right into now? You're all into hiking and going bush, and, you've gone from then 35 to now 50 plus, and really embracing life. You're doing triathlons all the time. You're going hiking all the time. You're loving life. Like,
I've got more energy than ever. Yeah. And I think there's a few things there. There's, you spoke about just scheduling it in. So sometimes people say, well, how do you do those triathlons? And it's about, I schedule them in and say, right, Jill, she's my friend, we're gonna do them this year, and schedule them in the diary. And then I get a training program and work towards it. But instead of it being competitive, it's about just the whole idea of gratitude, being grateful that my body is able to carry me around the track, and and looking at other people and being inspired by what they're doing. So I plan those adventures and then and then do them. And then on the hiking side, I find that with hiking, especially if someone is not great at meditation, it's a great way to get out there and to
turn it off, right?
Turn the phone off or put it on airplane mode, and just get out there and really concentrate on the surroundings, the bird noises, the putting one foot in front of the other. And it's almost like all your worries are so insignificant to this beautiful planet that's been here forever. And you come back and go, I can solve that. What am I worried about? So it's that it's getting out there and just the simplicity of life. And I find that that just being out overnight, where you're setting up your tent and you're cooking something simple for dinner, and so I get lots of women also ask me, how do you do that, and how do you get the courage to do it as well? So that's going to be my latest thing, is actually taking other women out to teach them how to go or to go on an overnight hike, where we take our gear, and I've organised someone that they can also hire gear from as well, and that we do a simple hike and stay overnight, and they can experience that whole feeling of simplicity and freedom that you have. it's quite wonderful.
I just love it because it's back to basics, right? And you were given this second chance at life and you've taken it by the reins and you're running with it. And positivity and gratitude, easiest way to shift your energy back up and lift it out of that dark space, if you like. So I've just put on the screen here if anyone wants to reach out and explore doing overnight adventures, or if you're resonating and would like some coaching, you can contact Bridge at bridgettesigley.com. So Bridge, we're now going to finish off with a little bit of Bling Angel intuitive card reading. We're just going to pull a card, see what comes up with our little messages to gain some clarity, insight, and wisdom about where you're at in life. So, your story is so inspirational and you're such a top chick who's turned your life around from not only one, but 2 cancer scares, like seriously. And so, you've turned your life around in 15 odd years and now you're just getting back to basics and as I said, embracing life, which is just so awesome. So the card today we've picked, it says, how will acceptance allow positive direction in my life? It's just, you never pull a wrong card, right? That is just amazing. Just accept what is, and then just step into the positivity and the gratitude of life, because it's going to show you the right path forward. As we said, every experience is a learning, whether it's perceived negative or positive. There's a silver lining out of everything. So, Bridge, thank you so much for coming on Finding Your Way. It's been such a pleasure. You are such an inspiration to so many, but particularly to women in their 50s. Go out and contact Bridge and go do an overnight hike and get back to basics. Connect with nature. Turn off from the outside world. Turn off from that noise. Leave your phone at home or put it on airplane mode, like you said, Bridge, and just go out and smell the roses or smell the eucalyptus leaves or, go paddling in the stream. Whatever it is, but just go out and live life, because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And
good time, that's fun.
Yeah. So any parting words, Bridge, before I drop you down to the green room?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sally. And I'm just looking at, just in terms of your top that you've got on, I've got one of Sally's beautiful blue, the light blue one, and they're fantastic quality.
Yeah.
I use that on my, whether it be yoga or walking in nature. So no, they're great.
Ones, right? Yeah, they're fantastic.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Bridge. Well, I'm just going to pop you down here as I wind up the show. So thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon, and probably after your next outdoor adventure. So see you later. So thanks, everyone. You can join me for another episode of Finding Your Way with Sally Eslin next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Central time, and Thursday at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So, Bridge is such an inspiration. I encourage you to reach out and have a chat with her. No matter what you're going through, there's always positives to be found, and Bridge is a living example of that. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me on Finding Your Way and with Sally, and I'll catch you later. Okay, bye. You can learn more about my services and products at sallyeslin.com. Make sure to join me every week for a new episode on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.